If you haven't seen any of my videos on the MPP solar hybrid inverter chargers, I'll encourage you to go back to my channel and go to my playlist and see what you can find and what you can learn from my previous install on MPP solar inverter hybrid inverter chargers. Welcome to JW Solar USA. Back to our project again today, as I was saying, back and forth, and you guys have gone through a lot of projects with me, and I just want to bring you back to the unfinished project here I have that is pending. But since as time comes in, goes out, some things comes in and goes out, we have all kind of things coming in and out. I just want to take some of the little things away, get done with them before we get to the hard part of different things I'm dealing with here. Today's video, I just want to give you tips and all on how to what you have to do or what you have to look for when you end up getting hybrid inverter chargers from MPP Solar, and what are the stuff specifications and before you start the project, and we can get from there. That's why I'm here. This is all about a video today. So I have the module I dealt with before. Those are the MPP, the PEEP 2424 LV MSD, and the ones I'm going to be talking about right now. These are the PEEP 5048 MG. So these are the big boys, and these are the ones with batteryless. You can go batteryless, you can go battery, you can just go standalone like just an inverter. They are built-in inverter chargers, inbuilt. You don't need any inverter, you don't need any charge controller anymore because they're buried with the MPP solar charge controllers, which are like PCM60s, something like that. So that's what they're embedded with a maximum power point tracking, which they have the PWMs on this. Or these are the MPPT hybrids. So, well, for the benefit of everyone watching and listening to my tips and advice about this device, I just want to make sure that I take these things out of the covers and you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about here, what I'm dealing with here. I know you guys are dying to see this thing back on action or to see them in action, but I just have to talk about the possibilities and the danger and just doing the things right the way it should. So like I was saying, so if we go to the PV modules here, and the maximum PV array open circuit, like I was mentioned earlier, on the 5 kilowatt is a 450 volt DC. They have other ones of these that are approximately 500 volt DC. These are not the MGs. Okay, you can take a look and see for yourself, and you see exactly what I'm talking about. So the voltage is supposed to range at 120 volt DC to 450. So just go through everything. Don't be in a rush, don't be in a hurry about doing things, because it's not going to do you any good. You know, being anxious about things, being eager, trying to show people, yes, it's good, but make sure if you want to show people, show them the right thing, and show them, not putting right away power into those things, and all of it, boom, it doesn't work for you. And that's how I've seen a lot of people started complaining, oh, these things are crap, so this machine doesn't work. You're trying to give a bad feedback or recommendation to the manufacturer for their mistake. But they gave you a pamphlet, they gave you a manual, they give you guidelines what you have to do. Don't do it your own way, do it their own way, what they said, and try it. If it doesn't work, I would say you do your own way now. Okay? If you do your own way, you're a guy who like to tinker or tinkering stuff, I would say Some people don't listen to manuals, don't listen to that. They will just go ahead and do something because they know at a certain voltage, at a certain amperage, they know exactly what the kind of wires and breakers and everything they're going to be utilizing. If you're not a tech pro or tech guru, or geek or something, don't underestimate or don't do things because you're low budget. Wait till you get the money. Wait till you get the money to do it right. Especially you already put your investment into this. Wait. Okay? The machine's not going to run away. Okay, the max input voltage into this device for charging, when it comes in, it can take up to about 300 volt AC, which is almost very close to three-phase. Yeah, very close. You guys know, tech gurus out there. And the efficiency, I want to mention the efficiency on this device is 90%, which is pretty good. It's not bad at all. Not for American machine. Okay. And the overload, it has an overload protection on it, a surge protection. The surge capacity is like 2 times the rate of the power for 5 seconds. 2 times the rate of the power. 2 times rated power for 5 seconds. So if this says a 5 kilowatts, I think that's what it meant. So remember, it surges 2 times of that, approximately 10 kilowatts, 5 seconds, not 5 minutes. Don't go, not continuous, 5 seconds. Okay? And the nominal DC input voltage is a 48 volt DC. It's not 48 volt AC. It's a 48 volt DC because sometimes people want to try and put wind turbine into this, which is a 3-phase or AC. Don't do that. If you want to use a rectifier or something and go back and try to bring it to the voltage as opposed to how it goes to be a DC, no AC. All right. And the cold start voltage on this machine is 46.0 volt DC. Okay. And the low DC warning voltage, that's the other thing again. It has alarms and everything, the bells and whistle. Whoa, 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 beep, beep, beep. It's just annoying. Trust me. The peeps got the most annoying noise. I know. I learned that from the previous install. So even if you have the MPPT, use the MPPT build charge controllers on this. If you have the end of the day is the sun is going down, it's gonna be having beep beep. All that noise till the power is not enough anymore to power this stuff. So what I would do if I were you, mute it, cut it off, turn it off, because it's gonna drive you nuts. It's gonna drive you crazy. It's annoying. Don't leave the warnings there unless you kind of person like, oh, I want to hear if something were to happen to this. I learned that with my first experience, which clients probably want the warning. You want to listen, whatever, something bad is going on. The light's going to be flashing there. They're going to be flashing a red light, fault light or whatever. That noise would just drive you crazy. Turn it off. There's no way you can turn it down. Is turn it off, mute it. You silent it, and that's it. Don't kill yourself, pull your hair for that. Trust what you did or your install. So, like I said, the low DC warning voltage will be at 44. It will be at 44. Instead of giving you warnings, 42.8 and 40.4. That's over, which is 40 volt 0.4 DC. And the low DC warning return voltage, it will start at 42. Remember, the ending was a 40.4. So the return voltage, like trying to, what I mean, is 42.4, 44.8, 46.0 at 20%. 20% load, 50%. You're going to be seeing all these kind of things happening. And the low DC cut-off voltage. This is the one important thing that you're supposed to know. Okay? At 42, 40.8, and 30.4, these are all cut off. They're cut off. Depends on the batteries you have. And high DC recovery voltage after the low voltage, if the beep went all the way down and shut down by itself, or end up shutting it off, it's gonna be almost 60 volt DC, the high DC recovery voltage, to make it come back. Say, hey, I'm here, ready for business again. And the high DC cut off, you cannot go more than that, because you're going to cause an impact to your batteries, and you're going to cause some problems into your system. You are in the threshold of 63 volt DC. I'm stressing that, 63 volt DC. 63 volt is the DC recovery voltage, and the cut off, DC cut off, is 63. So if you're thinking about doing batteries like whatever higher voltage, lithiums, Tesla and whatever, and Nissan Leaf and Chevy Volts, BMW, be careful. This is the first thing. I'll stress this. This is the first thing you have to look at first, if your PIP is going to handle that kind of voltage. And you have to look at the high end of it and the low end of it. So the lowest part of this PIP, the cutoff, is a 38.4. That's the lowest number. And the highest number gives you at 63, which is the DC cut off, is 63 volt. The high DC recovery is 62. So if you have to do any configuration, the S is 2S or 4S or 6S or whatever, or number you want to make, that's fine with you. Make sure you check first your specifications, the recommended voltage and the cutoff, the low and the high. That's what you look for. You determine what kind of battery you want to go with. Someone asked me that kind of question. So just remember, you have to know the machine specs first before ever you purchase your batteries. Or before ever you purchase your batteries. That's correct. That's what I'm trying to say. Before ever. Don't buy the batteries. You don't know if your Magnum or your Outback or your PIP or your Disc or your Xantrex, whatever. You have to know the high end and the low end. If you want to go into this high new technology, high voltage, you have to know. Do that research for yourself, please, before you started throwing arguments out there that's going to confuse other people who really want to learn or want to really know about this, or give chance to people who have done the research to give you some examples. You can do yours. It's an opinion. Everybody can do whatever they want, but I'm just telling you, I don't want you to go through all that kind of thing. I'm trying to help out and show exactly. You see, so if we come to the charging here, that's for batteries for AGM, gel batteries and all that stuff. They have their default numbers. They already set up for you. If you don't know, some people like International, they have some batteries that are not off brand. They don't give you all, the manufacturer don't put all the charging parameters, and you know nothing about those. They makes it easier for you to set up that. For AGM gel batteries, they just want to keep it at 56.4, which is the charging, and you can do your float charging at 54 volt, and your charging will be 56.4. 56.4 is your charging, which is your absorb, and the float will be at 54 volt DC. So Remember, overcharge protection will go up to about 63. Remember, I mentioned that 63 volts is the cutoff. So it protects itself for not being hurt or damaged. Just FYI, I'm just telling you. So some people don't have time to do all this research. Remember again, your PV open circuit is 450 volt DC and 120 volt DC to 430 is the range. Now I'm coming to the main part. Don't wire your panels all the way into the series. You said because they said 450 volt DC. Oh, I'm going to put it all the way to 450 volt DC. No, it's not going to work. Okay? Hello? It's not going to work. I'm just letting you know, just like your charge controller, Outback or whatever, Midnight, they said 150 volt DC. You cannot get 150 volt DC. You have to stay at 145, below 145 threshold. Then your inverter can work. It's fine. But you have to give a gap there so the inverter can breathe. You cannot choke this thing because they said 450 volt DC. See? You just have to get your voltage from 120 volt DC to 430. So you have to give that 20 volt off. That's the relief, the stress relief on that machine. So you can breathe, it can have thing going on. And the input current is, this is the final settings I'm showing you. I'm telling you guys, the final settings. The input current is 18 amps. 18 amps. So if you decided to have a string of 2, make sure if your panels are 9 amps, 9 point something amps, just remember, just cancel yourself that I'm done. No, because you cannot put those panels you already wired at 120 to 430 volt DC, 2 strings of them that gives you have a 9 point something amps on panels. No, it's not gonna work. You are over. You are endangering your machine. If you have any panels at 8 point something amps or very close to 9, you are fine. You're below that, you have about 7 point something, and the peak is high. The high peak of it on the amps is the 8. Then you're fine. You're gonna be a total of about 16 point something amps. I'm gonna bring again the panel again to show you this, because I like to do illustration so that people can do mistakes. You know, it's hard when other people trying to follow you and started doing the same mistakes you have done or you just did. So if you look at right now the total amperage about this panel, you can see it. It says the optimum operating current, which is IMP, which 2.7. You see that? And the short circuit current, okay, is 2.8. You see what I'm saying? So the high end of it, which is the 2.84, is the high, and the 2.7 is the low. So always have this in consideration. Like, you calculate for the high end, which is the 2.84. That's what you have to take into consideration, or else your math is wrong. If you take the low number, if you take the 2.7, which is the low end, you're off. I just want to let you know that you're off. So far so good, and that I just kill another time again for explaining things for long minutes, and it's gonna be probably part 1, part 2. Bear with me. If you accidentally click on part 2, I will recommend for you to go back and watch part 1 first. Don't go into part 2, because it's going to bring a one whole confusion for you. You're not going to understand what I'm saying, and you're going to try to send me a message. You're going to try to argue with me, which is not going to work, because I just gave you everything there. If you don't believe me, you can go ahead and do your research yourself and see exactly. But make sure you watch part 1, part 2. If you watch part 2 to make an argument, you are wrong. If you watch part 1 to make a conclusion, you are wrong. You have to watch part 1 and part 2. If I am going to do this video part 1 and part 2, then you will see exactly my information I just gave you there. I don't just kill another minutes of video time. I hope you like, and I'm going to give you a quick look. That's going to be part 2 or part 3 of the video coming up soon. This is all the connections you have right there. You have a little input breaker, which is for 230 volt. You see what I'm saying? Let me clear the screen right there, and I'll bring you to the other one right there. You will see what I'm talking about: the input, AC input and AC output, and you have your on and off switch right here, and your DC input. So I'll give you back in your network the RS232 communication, and you're gonna see a USB that connects you to the computer. All right, so see the program software, which is the watchdog. And thank you for watching. Make sure you like this video. I hope it makes sense, and I hope it's gonna help someone just like you, like me. And try to pay attention to the video. Don't try to be a critic, and this will help you, because instead of criticizing, it's not gonna help you. You know, for me, it's already helped me, because I'm trying to go step by step with you guys. I want you guys to absorb it step by step. Thank you for watching again. JW Solar USA. Bye for now.